Fistau, as implemented in Fistau.com, is a graph editor that allows one to design finite state machines and produce code that implements that machine. The technique can be used to recognize sequences of events like characters in an input stream or messages in a protocol. Here we see how to create a state machine and compile it into a program capable of recognizing specific character sequences. We will go through the steps of specifying the machine, compiling the code and testing it. The machine, here, will be called BASIC, and will recognize the character sequence BASIC. What we see here is https://fistau.com. As a first step, I enter the name of the machine in this box. That name will also be used as the name of the program itself. Next, I enter the name of the author. Then we can proceed with the machine itself by entering nodes. This is done by clicking anywhere on the screen with the left button of the mouse. The first node is special and is represented by a square. It must be given a name, and that name will be used as the source of data for the automaton. Every time you click, you get another node. We will need 6 more nodes for the desired sequence. The convention in this version of the editor is that the letter that names the edge represents the actual letter to recognize. To specify the name of the edge, right-click on the arrow. You proceed with naming each node. At the end of the graph, a special keyword represents the end of the string, the null character. Once the graph is complete, you click on the Get FSA button. This will take you to the results page labeled Graph Instance. Next, we open a terminal screen and create a folder that we will call Basic. Returning to the Graph Instance page, we click on the BZ2 file and save it to the BASIC folder. In the terminal window, we can verify that the file basic.bz2 has been loaded. The content is extracted using the command tar xvf basic.bz2. The command ls shows the content of the folder. We turn our attention to makefile.tmp. It is a prototype makefile that we can use to get started. Let's rename makefile.tmp into makefile and look at its content. There is a code section that will create certain files that can be used to customize the code later on. We run makecode. Next we run make. We now have an executable that we can run. This first result may not be very exciting. Let's improve on that. We created a structure, but never specified an action that should be performed in case of success. We can assign an action to the terminal node to signal that the string was properly recognized. Click the Action button and enter a print command. If we fail to recognize the string, we want to know as well. We define an action to be performed in the case the string is not recognized. We will call it error. For that we select the node mode. We press deselect all so that the new node is not connected to the others by an arrow. We left-click anywhere and the new node is added. We must give it a name, and in this case it must be error. We will specify an action too, a print statement. And save the name. We can then click Get FSA and upload the new BZ2 file to replace the previous one. Back to the terminal, we can untar the file. And run make again. This new version of BASIC will display good when it recognizes the string. And bad when it does not. Here are some examples. This completes the demonstration. Thank you for watching.